Hello and welcome to VTech. My name is Viral. Looking at this table here, can you tell me how many participants have met the threshold of 80,000 in a given month? This should be done in 10 seconds. So your time starts now. Don't cheat. In case if you have managed to get 8, that is the correct answer, give yourself a pat on the back. In case if you haven't managed to get the right number, that's okay, don't feel too bad. That's 95% of us. With the help of conditional formatting, we will be able to get a visual hint in terms of how many participants from our team have met the threshold and how many have not. We are also going to look into if and then formula that would give us a quick summary of how many participants have met the threshold and how many have not. Let's get right into it. So this is the table where we want to compare these cells against the sales target. In order to do that, in order to apply conditional formatting to these cells, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all the cells and then click on conditional formatting, select new rule, and then select use a formula to determine which cells to format. And as you can see, I can now type a formula here. So I will click on this and write is equal to this cell greater than or equal to this cell. That's what we are comparing. The value is greater than or equal to the sales target. Then we want to apply formatting. Now, as you must have noticed, both of these cells are by default locked by Excel, and we don't want the column F cells to be locked because we're going to drag the formula all the way down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click in between the selection and then press F4 a couple of times. Now, as you can see, the dollar signs have gone. That means I can now drag the formula for rest of the cells. So I'll leave it as is and then select formatting. So when the condition is met, I want the cells to be filled with green color because they've met the threshold, and I will select the font as bold, right? And click OK. Now this is the preview. This is what it will look like. Team members who have met the threshold. So click OK. There we go. So we now have conditional formatting applied to these cells. In case if you change the value, it will automatically change the formatting. So if I apply 75,000 here, as you can see, it no longer appears in green or bold fonts. The other thing we can also apply is if and then formula to get a count of how many of our team members have met the threshold and how many have not, right? So let's give this column a heading, threshold met or not. We can type a simple formula here that is equal to if open bracket, then it says logical test. So the logical test would be this cell is greater than or equal to this cell, comma, then it says what if the value is true. So if that condition is true, that is this cell value is greater than this cell value, what should it result as? So in terms of result, I want it to write yes, because that means the threshold is met. So I'll mention yes and then comma. If it is false, then I will write inverted commas, no, inverted commas, and close the bracket. So what I've done here is equal to if this cell is greater than or equal to this cell. If that condition is correct, then comma, and then in inverted commas, yes, comma, and in inverted commas, no, when the condition is not true. Hit enter. Now, before you drag the formula to rest of the cells, there's something that we need to understand. When you drag the formula, what it will do is it will drag the cells for both column F as well as column C2. As you can see, though this team member has met the threshold, it still shows as no, which is not correct, and that's because it is comparing it with C4. So we need to lock the formula for C2 cell. How do you do that? Click on the first cell, and here where it says C2, click on the center of it and then press F4. When you do that, you will see that dollar signs appear next to it. That is an indication that the formula is locked. Then you hit enter, and now we are ready to drag the formula for rest of the cells. There we go. Now we have the accurate calculation. Now, if you want to calculate in terms of number of cells where it says yes and number of cells where it says no, we can use a Countif formula, that is equal to Countif, open bracket, select the range. So this would be the range, comma, criteria should be yes. So inverted commas, yes, inverted commas, and close the bracket. With this formula, what I'm doing is counting the number of times word yes is mentioned in this column. Countif, open bracket, range, comma, and inverted commas, yes, and close the bracket. Now, when I hit enter, it shows that 8 times it is mentioned in this column. That means 8 team members have met the threshold. Similarly, if I want to check how many times does the column say no, I will use the same formula. Countif, open bracket, I will select the range, comma, inverted commas, no, inverted commas, close the bracket, and hit enter. So 10 of the team members have not met the threshold, right? So that's something that you can use. If you leave the formulas as is and just keep updating the values here, it will automatically change the numbers, right? So for example, if I change the first entry from 85 to 75, as you can see, because all of these cells are formula based, it changes automatically. The formatting also changes, right? Now, in case if you want to look at it from a different point of view, there is also another conditional formatting available which can come in really handy, and that is red, amber, green. So if you want to find out who are the team members from your team who are doing really well, those who are doing average, and those who need support. So how do you find that out, or how do you apply that kind of conditional formatting? You can select all the cells, go to conditional formatting, and select color scales. In color scales, the first option that you see, if you apply this, it will highlight the highest amount as dark green, the average amount in yellow or amber, and the lowest amount in red. Right? As we can see here, 23,000 is the lowest done by 2 of the team members, and 183,302 is the highest, right? That is appearing in dark green. Now, all of this would make sense as soon as you apply filter and sort the data in ascending or descending order. So how do you apply filter? Select the headings, press and hold Alt key, and then press D, F, F. When you do that, you've applied filters here. Now under sales, I will select it as largest to smallest. There we go. So these are the advisors who have met the threshold. They're appearing mostly in green, and we have advisors who have not met the threshold, and those at the bottom. All right, guys. So that was the video. I hope you liked it. Please do share it with your colleagues, friends. Please do like, so that helps publish the video more on YouTube. And yeah, comment your questions. I'd be more than happy to answer those. And I've also uploaded this Excel sheet that we worked on as a template for you to practice. I can't emphasize this enough, guys. If you don't practice more, you will not remember these formulas. So practice as much as you can. Use these formulas whenever you can. And all the best. And thank you for watching. And see you next time.